be able to write homes, Norwalk real estate, Norwalk homes for sale, Norwalk foreclosures. You used to just go on and on and on about Norwalk homes, and Google would look at that and go, okay, this website has 10,000 keywords that are all about Norwalk and Norwalk homes, so we're just going to rank them #1 for Norwalk homes. And you can make the list go on and on for everything, for all different types of part of your website. Google no longer does that because the relevance there was incorrect. Users would click on it and they'd get there and it wouldn't be what they were actually looking for. So what Google does now is they still use the meta tag keywords, but only as like a cross-reference, just to make sure. What they're going to be basing everything off of is the content on your website. And that's why I say to try and repeat everything that you can, that you're trying to get across. So if you want to get indexed as an $8,000 tax credit, make sure that you throw in $8,000 tax credit like 5 or 6 times. Not completely in a row because Google can read that, but if you have a pretty good paragraph like this, I should probably have it like 3 times in there. That would be good enough for the amount of word I have in there. That would be good enough. There was actually one person that made an entire page, actually a real entire page, and all they talked about was the city that they serviced. And I thought that was a great idea, where you could put on here like Norwalk Community. Okay, oops, I didn't mean to click that, but you could put on our tab there, Norwalk Community, and you could talk everything about Norwalk homes and the Norwalk community, and go on and on and on about it. And people aren't really going to look at it for that value, but you're doing it for Google to read that. Because if Google can see that you have all this stuff here for that, and people go on your website and are looking and see all that stuff, not just for that, but for the other parts of it, for the real estate section, they can search for all your homes and look for that information and fill out the forms. You'll get indexed with Google a little bit easier like that.
John?
Yes.
So all those ads, like the $8,000 tax credit, those were all made by you on focus boxes? Or is that
No.
incorrect?
No. You're talking about
The actual, like those, right there.
these? These are in the
No, go up. Not those. Go down, sorry.
more?
Yeah, go all the way down.
This is all the way down.
And I mean, scroll down. Bring the page down.
That is down. Oh, you want like that?
Yeah.
Back up.
Okay, sorry. Those things, #1, bank repo, like when you open those up, like click on one of them. Oh, okay, I thought those opened to a page with all the information about the tax credit. They don't?
No, well that one's not for the tax credit. That one's for the #1 bank repo search.
Right,
The tax credit one will go to that page.
okay, but so that page right there, what I'm trying to understand is, did you create that page yourself on the focus?
No. I made that by myself. It's an edit your content and edit pages.
Okay. So what do you make it on? You make it on Word or whatever you want?
If you use Word, the only problem with Word is the editor that they have on the KW site, it isn't like set up for Word. So if you paste it in there, some of the stuff might come out a little messed up.
So what would you
So I would just use the editor that they have. I mean it's
Okay.
Right there and create a new page?
Yeah. I would just use the one that they have. I mean it's
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that's under, what number is that?
this
Can't
is
see.
3.7. I actually go over this in the advanced class. I think I have many pages.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because the page looks really nice, the way you have all the links, but I was like, how does he create that? Like,
Yeah, that's in section 3.7 on how to edit pages.
okay,
But you can see, I mean, this is pretty much almost everything that you would see in Word.
yeah.
I mean, for the most part. And if you do it on here, it'll format correctly, because this isn't like formatted for you to upload Word documents, and the way that they have it set up, it's different.
Okay.
So
Can you get to that on 3.0
I get to this in the advanced class.
or? Okay.
Basically, I'm just doing this so you guys can just get your foot on the door and making the page. Because I know that most of you, this is probably going to take a little bit of time. So I don't want to overwhelm you and say, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. Just do the very basics and just getting your website forwarded, changing the CNAME, and making your homepage. Those are the main things that you need to get first. Because you need to have your domain name, you need people to be able to recognize that, that's your domain. And your homepage, that's where everyone's going to go. They're not going to type in that specific page number that they're going to. They're just going to go I'm going to dariasalatohomes.com. And they're not going to get directed to your $8,000 tax credit right away, or whatever you have to offer. They're going to see what's on your main page. That's why it's very important to have your home page looking good. I could probably say almost all of you would want to figure out what's going on my website just because of the design it is. I mean, I can give you an idea. I spent an entire weekend just designing this page. And that's about 6-7 hours a day. Just critiquing it, making it look as perfect as possible. When I got it done, I didn't want to have to go back and change it just because one little thing. So I made it perfect the first time. But this is where you want to have, this is where everyone's going to spend their most time, because everyone's going to rank here first. If you give out a business card and it has your website on it, this is where they're going to come. They're not going to go to your contact page or your search for proposals. This is where they're going to come first. So you need to have everything on here relevant to what your site is about. So if you come on here and look, you're probably going to want to find more out, because the way it's laid out. If everything was just in a big block text, you probably wouldn't want to search anything because it's too much to read. You're not going there to read, you're going there just to get a little bit of information. And with the way marketing is right now and the market, everyone's wanting to search for homes. They say that the average, it's 90% of home buyers started their search online. 90%. So I mean, you can do the math, that's pretty big. So being an agent, if you're part of the board, you can get the IDX search, and that comes for free with the KW website as well. And you can they can basically search your entire MLS as you would search it. I don't know how accurate it is completely, but I know it is pretty good. And then, I mean, for a buyer that doesn't have access to an MLS or even know what an MLS is, for them to be able to use that is like amazing. And I think a lot of them get irritated with Trulia and Zillow and Realtor.com because a lot of the information is incorrect. Because they still show it as active, even if it's pending or on hold or backup, they still show it as active. So when these people are calling the agents off of these websites, it's already been sold. So I think they get a little irritated with that, and that's why I think we get a lot of people using our search tool. I think we probably have right now like 100 people that still use it actively, that still save searches, that want to schedule showings. That's the one great thing about it. We get a lot of scheduled showings on the website. Not saying you have to abide by what they say, but I think it's a nice feature for potential clients of yours to go on your website and say, this is a nice home, I want to schedule it, and it'll give them like 3 different times to choose from, 3 different days, and it's pretty cool for them to be able to do that. Let me just go back into section 2.4, I kind of got deviated on that for the pages. But we'll go over in the advanced class on website on how to make effective pages, how to upload images into them, and that kind of stuff. Let me go back into edit site info. So like I said, your tagline, that's whatever your staying is, you don't have to have one. Display KW logo, I would probably put yes. The KW logo has more, what is that word now? Acknowledgement than what your name and what your face probably does. So I would use KW to help brand yourself. That's a really big thing. Like I said, when you first start out, you get this right here, and this is what your website would have been had you not got the domain name and changed it. So you can put whatever you want in there and use that, but I wouldn't suggest it because you want to have that domain name. Website status, you're going to have that as active. Website to display, you're going to want to put alternate and put your domain name. So it's showing everything as your active domain name and not the KW website stuff. So they might end up going to vgrouphomes.com, but towards the end, if they keep searching around and stuff, they might get lost because of the page that it says. So you're going to want to change that and put that domain name. The rest of this stuff down here is just your broker team information. You can fill that out as needed. Page title, like I said,